Hey guys, it's Jess here. Welcome back to our channel, and today we are trying to figure out what to do with this whiskey barrel.
Boo. It's Father's Day. Best day of the year aside from your birthday and your anniversary. Even though it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, we got beer, we got dogs, and we got whiskey barrels, and I'm going to show you what to do with it.
Folks, this is Ted. Father-in-law to me, father to Jess, whiskey connoisseur, and really good at building stuff. You might remember him from last year when we built that humongous pergola, or on some of the adventures at our cabin. Today, he's gonna be leading the charge in building another pergola in his backyard, but not just another pergola, a pergola for his hammock.
All right, so last year at Father's Day, my family bought me this beautiful Hatteras hammock, but I got no place to put it. Now, I got a lot of trees, but no really nice place. So we built this nice pergola last year. Watch that video, it's great. This year, we are gonna build a hammock pergola utilizing these whiskey barrels and some leftover wood from the pergola build last year.
I feel as though I should be the one building this thing because it's Father's Day, so he shouldn't be working, but he's out here helping. He should be inside sleeping, right? Taking a nap.
You need daddy guidance.
Okay, so step one, just like any pergola build or any structure of this capacity, is to set your post. Now, we don't want this structure to be permanent. Even if we wanted them to be permanent, the ground here is rock and nothing but rock. And so we wouldn't be able to pour concrete. We'd have to dig all that stuff out. The next best option would be to attach the post to the rock bed, but we don't know how deep that rock is. Have no fear, we're gonna come up with some creative ways to shore up these posts and make sure that they are locked in really good, plenty of weight in these whiskey barrels so that they're not going anywhere. Continuing on, the first thing we have to do is square off each of our whiskey barrels. Since this is our base, these need to be square with each other, both side to side and front to back.
On the center or on the edge?
On the edge.
I just about lost it.
201 3/4. So that one would have to go that way about 5 inches.
Which way?
Yes!
Strength! We got to talk a little bit about why Justin's not helping so much today.
Because he's lazy?
Wow! Justin's being lazy.
Yeah, baby.
Justin injured his leg. We'll let him talk about it. Here, let me turn you around.
I've got knee bursitis. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and it hurts. So.
That looks like it fits pretty good.
It does. We're gonna need some gravel to hold it up though.
Oh, yeah. The specs for this hammock call for about 14 feet wide, which is a pretty wide span, but we don't have that. And we're not gonna go back out to the middle of nowhere in Tennessee to get the wood that we got last year. So we're gonna take 2 of the scrap pieces we have, rip them down to a smaller size, and then join them together. So to connect these 2 boards together in order to get that span of about 14 feet, we're gonna join them using a half lap joint. I measured in about 8 inches for the half lap joints. I think this is preferential. Don't really think there's a one size fits all for this, but this is just what looked good to us. Now that Wilma and Jess are back from the store, we've got some gravel. We're gonna go ahead and plumb all of our posts and add that gravel to the bases to get them all set and sturdy, ready to attach those cross members.
Gotta be 14 on center, right? We are at 172 1/4, so we're a little over 14 feet.
That's fine.
Our mantra for this project did eventually become, "That's fine." It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly plumb, square, all that good stuff. This is really just for looks. It's more aesthetic. We're still gonna go buy the book on this and try to make it as best as we can. But at the end of the day, if there's any margin of error, it will be tolerable.
Jess and Wilma just ran into town to get wood glue. I need wood glue to connect to those half lap joints, and we're gonna use dowels as well to pin them together.
While the ladies are out, I'm gonna go ahead and start on cutting our rafters. Our posts are not plumb quite yet, so I had to go based off of the bottom, closer to the whiskey barrel, that measurement, which was about 65 inches. I'm 99% confident that it's 65 inches, but I'm gonna go double check. The degree of our cut is going to be a 45-degree angle. And so we know that we want from the bottom of our angle to the bottom of the other side of that angle to be about 65, a little bit over inches. The total length of this board from the top is going to be the thickness of our material since it's a 45-degree angle. So this is 3 11/16, which means that from this point to this point is 3 11/16. 3 11/16. That's all we have to do is add 3 11/16 to either side of that 65. So let's say 65, and so 13/16. 65 and 6 is 71. So it would be 70. The total length is going to be 71 13/16. 100% sure on our measurements, 99% sure on that math. So comment below. Wow. I don't know what to say. What a doofus. This kid cannot do math, clearly, in his head. I should have used the calculator. I hope we have enough because that measurement was wrong. I think I said 68, but I meant 72. Still wrong. Let's just do some quick math here. So I said 3 11/16. That times 2 is 7 3/8. That plus 65, 72 3/8. I'm sorry, Mr. Parr, I failed you. Or maybe you should have failed me. Jess is back, and she loves the miter saw.
I love it. What is happening? Oh, he's stuck. Hold on.
What happened?
Okay.
Who got stuck where?
Buck got stuck in his harness. It's okay, boy.
Where are you? From the top. Jess is finally back from the store.
Hello. We need to go get some important supplies, wood glue, and lunch from Chick-fil-A.
She's going to be kind of heading up the rest of the project here.
I will be.
Because she loves operating the miter saw. So I realized one of two things. Number one, my first measurement was wrong, so we corrected that. Sorry.
Are you sure it's correct now?
I think so, yes. And then number two, which I've already stated, is she loves cutting on the miter saw, so we're going to let her cut all of the rafters. So I'm going to do all the measurements for you, and do the pieces, and you can...
Okay, I haven't used the miter saw in a while, and I haven't used this miter saw, but it's still going to be fun. So let's get started. Let's chop some wood. Covered in sawdust. So
that's what happens.
I think we need to figure out how to rig his system up a little bit better so there's less dust output. I'm covered. Normally I'm not quite this covered. So Dad, we're gonna hook you up somehow. Bosch, you want to sponsor us?
So these two boards here are going to be the front supports. What we're going to do to connect it, we have this dowel here. This is probably oak, but I'm going to do 4 since this dowel is so small instead of just 2. I was previously going to do 2, but I'm going to do 4. And then what we'll do, we'll get it connected to our posts, and from there we'll trim it up. We may trim it up prior just to get it close.
It might not fit back through there with all those trees. Oh, you show off your lightsaber skills.
Oh yeah.
You do have some pretty cool lightsaber skills, I'm not gonna lie.
I think so. That's because when I was a kid, when I was 9, I just did this over and over. Like I would be outside by myself with my lightsabers. Now I just have to do that 3, 4, 7 more times.
You didn't come all the way through?
Yeah, it kicked back on me. That's how I should have done it to begin with.
Wow, that's a beautiful song. Do you hold all the rights to that song?
Yep.
Bingo, right on the money. One down, one more to go. Here's the deal. We've never done half lap joinery like that. Actually we have, but we've never done wood dowels before, so we are not the channel to be watching to learn how to do this. This is our first time.
We're adding just a few screws for extra strength.
If this is the backside, then we probably could do more than just the 3 screws.
Just start with 3 and let's see what that looks like, and then we'll worry about it once we get up there if we need more.
Cool. So this is our first one here, and I think we should be okay to go ahead and set this one now that your dad has started on something else. This is...
Let's go break him away from that because he didn't sound too excited. Get him, Des.
Once we get these beams attached to the front and the back sections of the post, we are going to move on to plumbing up the front section to the back section, so the front to the back post. Once we're able to do that, then we can move on to attaching the 4x4 post that's going to span the front to the back, and that is what the hammock is going to be attached to. But somewhere along the way, things got out of whack, and unfortunately, we're having a hard time getting them square to each other and perfectly plumb.
Jess is going to be taking over from here. She is the master woodworker. We had an issue. The bases are not super secure because it's sitting in a whiskey barrel and some gravel, and so it's not perfectly... Concrete. Yeah, we don't want concrete. We don't want it permanent. So that's kind of the trade-off, is if you're not going to make it permanent, it's not going to be super structurally secure. We'll run into a couple of issues here where we're not able to get it fully plumb and all measurements are square and all that stuff. And so Jess had the idea of just adding a scrap piece down here in the whiskey barrel to kind of shore it up at the base to just at the very least help it in terms of movement laterally. And
it worked.
It worked. So we'll cover up that with mulch, and
now it's plumb dirt.
Great job. Okay, now that we've gotten all of our landscaping complete, Wilma and Ted did a good job this week getting that knocked out. All the mulch is down, all the planters are filled, and Ted, I would assume that probably helped secure the post a little bit more. So really the last thing we have on the list to do is to put our rafters up.
So we only purchased 12 cedar 2x4s, and I've already exhausted 2 of those. So we'll have 2 on either side of each post, and then we'll have 6 left over that will span the middle.
Quick update. So what we ended up doing was these longer pieces that grow across the front and the back, we lowered them a little bit. We've got 10 rafters that we're gonna put up, and this is the spacing that I think we're gonna use. We only have 10 because we only have so many of the, what do you call it, the screws, the pieces, the parts.
The hangers.
Hangers. We got 20 hangers, so we can only have 10 rafters, and I think it looks cute. We all approved, so we're gonna start here.
Now that we have our endpoints tacked in, we go off of that measurement. It was 167 1/4. That divided by 7, which is the amount of spaces between the rafters, is like almost 24. So we're going about 24 on center. So this last one, since we're going left to right, it'll be a little bit less than that. But 24 on center is what we're aiming for.
Did we tell him how long it took us to figure out the math for this one? Not too bad this go around.
He did it perfect. He did exactly what I taught him to do.
I did, because you communicated very thoroughly this time.
The number of spaces, because he learned from the pergola.
I've just had a lot of jobs where it's required that. Now that the rafters are hung by the chimney with care in hopes that this hammock will soon be here, Jess is gonna measure the center here, 32 and a half.
Let's measure the other side and see if it's the same.
So 64
You have the fancy
and
calculator.
5/8 divided by 2 is 32 and 5/16.
High five.
There, you didn't mark it center up and down though.
You didn't say that. Does not look center to me.
Close.
Here is the first test of this hammock since it's Father's Day and he's the only father here. Happy Father's Day.
Let's see. Whoa. It's too low. Woo.
What are your thoughts?
So comfy.
All right, baby, you're gonna have to give me a little space. Oh yeah.
Is it comfy? Okay, y'all.
And I've got us. We're not
Maybe
gonna
if one
flip
of you
because
went in
I've got
on each
us.
side.
This is heavenly.
Dude, mother, my boob is gonna be squashed. Justin, stop.
Hold still so I can take your
honey,
picture.
Honey.
I knew what to do with all this stuff, and as you can see, I knew what to do with these barrels and this wood. So I want to thank Jessica and Justin and my wife for pulling all this together for me. I know it's a week after Father's Day. It's done. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe to this channel so you can see more of these great projects.
We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Jess and Wilma are.
Now right here, we have our miter saw, our Bosch.
And the miter saw is all hers.
Let's retry this again.
Boys,
Gotta get hyped up.
go play.
Go on over here. Nope. Come on, boys. Out here in the grass. Let's go. Go in the grass.